Hey, it's Dave Wyman from Bob, Dave, and More. Time for Football 101. First of all, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to everybody. Disappointing loss to the Arizona Cardinals, as disappointing of a loss as I've seen in a long time. But going into this game, just wanted to kind of explain the defense, because we're going to diagram what was a big play that the Cardinals had against the Seahawks defense. But the story of this defense this year, a lot of people have tried to kind of questioned, this defense, and rightfully so. And here's why. They're number 27 in the NFL in yardage given up, going into the game, that is. 378 yards, points 24.6, they're number 21. 29 against the pass, 271 yards they're giving up per game. And then sacks, they're 29th, only 24. But, they have had only 5 40-plus yard passes that given up. And so they're keeping everything in front of them. And another one I forgot to put on here, they've given up 18 passing touchdowns, which was 7th best in the NFL. So there's some surprising numbers here. So 5 plus 40-yard passes is 2nd best in the NFL. 1 40-plus run, going into the game once again, was 3rd best. And then opponent quarterback rating was very surprising, because, they're 29th in sacks, but 84 is the number. They're 7th best in that category. And then mostly 32 takeaways, and that's 3rd best. And that is how this defense has operated. Now, the problem was yesterday, 0 takeaways. They didn't get any turnovers. So that's kind of how this defense has lived, and why the Seahawks have won 11 games. Again, remember, they've won 11 games, okay? Let's take a look at a play that just killed the Seahawks. This was the 2nd series of the game, the very first play, and they just ran a counter play. So what Arizona did here, they had their tight end and their tackle double team here. So you get a double team here, you get a double team here, and then you get a guard pulling around in this lane, and then you get this tight end pulling, and then they run just a little counter play with Kenyon Drake. What happens is, the two things to me that I thought were pretty clear of why this play went for so long. First of all, on the backside, the two linebackers looked like they had a run blitz on. So, instead of coming over the top and reading this guard, the backer here went straight into the backfield. Same thing with the weak side linebacker. He came back, and rightfully so, checked the quarterback, because a lot of times with these RPOs, and the same thing happened with the free safety, he started kind of backing up and kind of went this way. So it made for, a big lane. But still, you can probably defend this. But what happens is this defensive end kind of takes a little bit of a step back, and then he comes up. So the guard ends up getting both him and the linebacker right here. And so with this guy washed all the way down here, and this guy was hooked here, and he also got the defensive end. This pulling tight end basically had nobody to block, and then, of course, Kenyon Drake just turns it up right in this alleyway right here. And by this time, the free safety, he had a bad angle and ended up not being able to catch Kenyon Drake. So they end up going for an 80-yard run. So I said earlier, only giving up 1 40-plus run, and this was a killer. But, I think mainly for this defense, who was depleted a little bit as far as personnel, certainly no Jadeveon Clowney, no Quandre Diggs. I thought those two guys were the most important. They gave up a lot of plays. So, you'll hear in our interview with Luke Wilson, there's no need to panic. And the Seahawks 11-win team, I don't think a lot of people would have thought that at the beginning of the year. It was just very disappointing to play a 5-9-1 team and get the result that they did. But hopefully going forward into the playoffs, this game against the San Francisco 49ers, they don't allow any big plays like this.